Today on Down with Dedee, my mom will be having a conversation with my aunt, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Shell, thank you for coming onto my show. Oh, look, I'm already tongue-tied. Thank you for coming on my podcast, Down with Dedee.
Getting all shy.
You just stuck your tongue out at me. I love it.
Um,
Um,
well, I was wondering when you were ever going to ask me.
well, didn't want to hear a no, although I don't know why I immediately thought it would be a no. And you're always like, why do you just ask me? Because you're usually going to get a yes.
Well, actually, that's fair because my nickname is Dr. No. So, I understand your trepidation.
Well, you also don't like doing interviews, so I will say I'm honored. Although it would be probably a pretty interesting holiday if you were to say no. I'd be like, oh my God, she said no. Well, the other sister, the unicorn, Lori, she's like, oh, don't even come over here. I'm like, I know, I'm not going to ask you. Sal, I want to start off this podcast by saying, first of all, I just love you so much, and I can't thank you enough. This podcast came from a result of being in recovery for addiction. You know, my journey is recovering out loud. Oh, here we go. We're going to do some waterworks. And I wouldn't be sitting here right now if it wasn't for you. And yes, the unicorn sister and that brother. And I want to say all of my family and in-laws included. I was incredibly fortunate to have all you guys in my court through a really tough time, which I like to say started 5 years ago today. Today's my fifth year anniversary of being sober. I call it my rebirth day because it was my rebirth.
And happy birthday.
Thank you. I know that was really hard on the family. But at the same time, I got to say, I look back and I go, wow, if you were to tell me 5 years ago that you were going to be sitting on a podcast called Down with Dedee, which by the way, we'll talk about in a minute. Who came up with the name Down with Dedee for my show? Yeah, she's pointing at herself. Yeah, that was you. Remember, you go, what's the name of your show? I said Dedee, and you go, just Dedee. I go, yeah, just Dedee, like Oprah, and you're like, oh, okay. Pause, or Down with Dedee. And I'm like, no, no, no. I already have all the no rights to it. It's just gonna be Dedee. And I drove home going, oh my God, why do I keep thinking Down with Dedee, Down with Dedee? So yes, I went and I said, DJ, we have to rename the show. He goes, what? I said, Shell says Down with Dedee, and he goes, oh, that's good. Anyways, my show is really also about a lot of things, but it's like, what can you do with your recovery? What does life look like when you finally decide to say enough? And I do want light in my life and happiness and joy. And also in sobriety, transparency is huge. It's one of the many ways that we stay in the positive aspects of recovery because there's a thing called a dry drunk. You know what I mean? Just because you're sober doesn't mean that you're a nice person. So you have the opportunity to have be a better person through transparency. That segues into Henry Rose. I don't know if y'all know it out there, but my sister has this amazing line of products called Henry Rose, and the whole thing is transparency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, right after my kids were born, I started paying more attention, as you know, I became a fanatic about what we were exposed to, the food we were eating, the products we were using. And anyway, through a long journey and a lot of stress, I discovered that fragrance had zero transparency with its ingredients. And, there are a lot of toxic ingredients out there that go into personal care, into beauty. And anyway, long story short, I looked for, and I became obsessed with reading labels. And that was a long time ago because there actually weren't that many labels to read at that time. And now there are. And yeah. Thank God. So it's come a long way. I stopped wearing it. I started looking for products that were fragrance free, very hard to find. And I really missed it because I love fragrance. I went 10 years without wearing it and trying every kind of natural, green, clean, organic, plant-based product on the market. And I just couldn't find anything that had that really beautiful kind of fine fragrance, olfactive experience.
Like the vanilla and grapefruit that we used to mix.
With
obsession, yes.
And we actually used to layer way back then before anybody really talked about that, and sort of learned way back then that opposites really created this complexity and this really interesting olfactive experience. And one of our favorites was grapefruit and vanilla. That sort of, that kind of sharp, bitter grapefruit with that kind of creamy, earthy vanilla. And those are some of the most interesting fragrances for me. So anyway, I thought, well, okay, if I'm looking for this, somebody else might be looking for this. I was kind of looking for something else to do, something that would get me excited to wake up in the morning.
Yep.
And it came up fragrance. Sometimes when you put that question out in the universe, as you know, you're really surprised by the answer.
Yeah.
When I asked the universe, I was a checker at a supermarket. And how old was I? 20. And kind of having a bad day. It's a great job, by the way. I was really happy to have that job, but man, I was getting some bad customers. And I was like, what you can do with this grapefruit? And I'm like, what do I want to do? What would make me, if I could just snap my fingers? And it was acting.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Wait a minute. Let's back up for a minute. Let's pull this car over. This is the first time I've ever heard of this. I know you were a checker, but that's when you had the epiphany about acting, was when you were a checker?
Yes.
Ah! Well, I was off being an
Yeah,
idiot like high school, right? Who knows if
completely. Yeah. And I had taken acting in high school, which I loved. And again, I only took it to get English credits because I hated English. It was like terrible. And, always looking for these way out, and ended up loving it, loving the people in it, feeling like I had found a home kind of.
Mm.
So then I forgot about it and I graduated and I went to stenography school. That didn't work out. And then I got this job at Bonds, which could have been a career for me. But I was still unsettled. And anyway, yeah. Anyway, this fragrance thing was the same thing. I was really surprised to hear that. And then I went about beating my head against the wall for the next 15 years. And
I know. I was going to say the business part was something you didn't see coming, did you? Because it's one thing to have it as an idea. I'll just go make a perfume and make it all transparent, and we won't put any of the chemicals in it, and make the packaging, environmentally friendly.
yeah, and the first part was getting past all of the naysayers, and even the people who were my supporters were saying to me, you will never ever get the fragrance industry to be transparent with its ingredients. I mean, never. It's just never happened. It never will.
Huh.
It's a part of the allure. It's,
Wait, hold on, back up. The allure is putting crap on your body that's toxic.
no, but it's part of the mystery of just not
Oh.
knowing it. And also, in all fairness, they didn't want their formulations. They spend a lot of time and effort, developing these beautiful fragrances that become iconic. They don't want people ripping off their formulations. Totally get it.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's fair.
But the truth is, it's concentration. A lot goes into the formulations of these things, and it's not that easy. You can get kind of close, but it's not really that easy. A lot of it was they just didn't want to. Anyway, it was finding. I went ultimately directly to the fragrance house. I'm skipping over so much. And I had discovered the Environmental Working Group's Skin Deep database early on when the kids were really young. And that was like, wow, going down the rabbit hole. I relied on them a lot when I was then looking for a partner to do these with. And they were actually in a lot of early meetings with me because I'm not a scientist. I can be fooled super easy, which I actually was once. Anyway, so that's how it all started. And I did find ultimately, shockingly, I went directly to the fragrance house, and they were finally the ones who were willing to do these formulations with me with 100% ingredient transparency. And the beauty industry was like, no way. So yeah, so I worked.
What you did was groundbreaking in that whole industry. You kind of broke down a wall that no one even thought of.
Yeah, it had never been done.
Look at you.
No, I know, it's exciting. And the other thing is that it's really encouraged other brands to do the same.
Yeah.
Now, not the only one, which is great.
Yes.
And the other thing is that through the whole process, I was introduced to Cradle, which I personally was not aware of. They also have a focus on certainly human health, but they have a focus on sustainability.
Yes.
Big. That's kind of how they came into this with building materials and circular environment. And we have both of those verifications and certifications. But by the time we were finished with all of their restrictions, our palette went from most perfumers formulate from they pull from about over 3,000 ingredients. We pull from about 300.
Oh.
So our it's kind of forced our perfumers to be kind of creative and go down roads that they never thought of before. And it's just been an incredible collaboration with Cradle to Cradle and EWG, IFF, and our perfumers. It's been quite a journey.
I love that. Sal, I'm so proud of you that I know I've been at lunch or dinners with you where you're like, I'm like, how are you? You're like, I'm tired. And I'm like, wait, she's not working on a movie. You're like, no, 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 I'm not doing that. Um, it's funny how like we just have no idea, but I'm gonna back up a little bit because you said something really important. I tell the boys this because they're 17 and 21 and they're really early on in their lives. I said, if you don't know what your purpose is in life, figure out what your passion is, and your passion will lead you to your purpose. Right? So you were there to checker, and then you have this epiphany by looking at a grapefruit, which is ironic, led you to acting, and now led you to this. Are you going to stop here? Are you going to do anything else?
I'm still like really in the weeds with Henry Rose, and we're still it's infancy. We're 4 years in.
Are you 4 years in? Yeah.
Yeah. We're since we launched.
Where
Yeah,
can people?
we're 4 years in, and we're 4 years old in terms of the day that we launched. I mean, we're like in terms of a brand, we're like a baby.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing I learned is it takes a really, really long time to build a brand because it's just you're constantly learning more, and you start out with a finite amount of finances, and so you're
Yes.
making decisions, the best decisions you can. It's kind of like acting again. I mean, it's like you start out and you're getting offered kind of crappy things, so you kind of pick
Yeah.
the best of what you've been offered. Then as you grow, begin to build a real brand and you get funding, and then all of a sudden you kind of go, oh, we can do this and we can do this. So it's every day is different. I'm telling, it's like the difference between acting is sprinting. This is a marathon.
Oh, is
Marathon
it
that
is
you
it
never
similar
can.
to my podcast? I had to admit to you today that I already did 18 without this microphone.
But
Yeah.
what? It's like, so what? Like, yeah, they'll be better now. But you just, I wouldn't throw them away at all. That's how people start. They start.
Yes. Well, and my brand is all about like being imperfect. It's part of like my brand because I had to learn real quick a long time ago. And I think one of the many reasons why I drank too is also this in society, especially in industry, there's this way of trying to get you into this perfect bubble. The best hair, the best skin, the weight. And it's really hard. And I've never fit well in that bubble ever. So thank God we're in a time now where it's like, I love on your email, you say, it's the light gets through the cracks.
Yeah, forget your perfect offering. There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in.
I every time you send me an email, I read that. I go right to the bottom because it's such a beautiful reminder.
Honestly, the cracks are where the beauty is.
Right?
Um, it's like, and I just adopted this dog, and she's got the craziest hair.
Hey, where is Dot? Why isn't she not on the podcast with us today?
She would be way too distracting.
Actually, you're not.
I took her to the vet yesterday, and I was like, so I was like, so what do you think about what her fur? I mean, is it going to stay like this? Is it going to stay long? She said, oh God, I think it'll stay about what it is, and I hope it doesn't change because it's what makes
Oh, Sal, the best thing about your rescue dog, besides the fact it's the cutest thing I've seen, and it's like a half a pound, I have horses. My dogs are horses. My cats are horses. your new rescue Dot has like, and I say this with love, but pig skin with a little bit of hair kind of on it, kind of, but not really. And that's what makes her look like,
She has Grinch feet.
yeah, she does. And the big ears that are way too big for her little body. And,
I
but
mean,
I just love her, how she's not this perfect little puppy. She's actually kind of a mess. And I love her. Like every time I see her, my heart goes, I love her.
she's getting spots. Okay. She's, she, little did I know, I was not only Dot because she's as small as a dot, but
Yep.
she's spots and she's getting these freckles everywhere. These little
I,
freckles.
I saw that.
I know.
Can I say something too? You and I and that other unicorn sister of ours, we're talking about stress and all that, and emotional support animals and the cortisol that we produce from stress versus dopamine and serotonin and all that kind of stuff. And we talked about it. And I said, when you first sent me the picture of you and Dot, through the picture, I felt all of that cortisol from stress, life stress, whatever stress was going on in your life, eliminated. And all I saw was this energy and this glow and this love with this little rat dog that I call her. I say that with love. And how she's produced such light in your life. I think all animals should be it.
Yeah, they in the past, when we've had animals, it's when I had kids, and so my focus was primarily on the kids, and the animals were really, and I loved my animals. But now that I'm an empty nester, it's sort of like this dog is really mine, and well, it's David's too, but but I mean, we both adore her. I get heartburn kind of reflux. And, I've been to a million doctors and diets and this and that. And the truth is, I went to a doctor yesterday. He said, honey, look, your age, everybody has reflux. Okay. If you're doing anything interesting, you've got reflux. But I haven't had it since I got her.
You wait, that whole reflex thing that I've been hearing you talk about for a very long time is gone since Dot came into your life. I'm sorry, that to me, I believe that 1,000%.
Yes, you hear, how all of the things that can reduce your stress, and you hear how dogs, they bring into hospitals. I forget what you call them, but and how they reduce people's cortisol, they reduce people's stress.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, yeah, oh, that's nice. Really, how much can it really, I kind of didn't really believe it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's true.
Oh, wait a minute. That's a good segue. You said you really didn't kind of believe it. You know where I'm going with this. Next segment. Sal, do
Oh,
you believe in the supernatural and the paranormal? Yes or no, and why? And I know you are one of these people that's super intelligent. You're like, I need to see it, otherwise, So, oh, look, she's thinking about it. I love it.
I don't believe in it,
Any
but
of it.
I'm not going to say I don't believe in any of it.
Okay.
But I can't also say conclusively that I do, because you're right. I want evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And yet there are so many of the things that I thought were kind of BS in my life are now, I'm realizing, are not BS at all. And they were things where there just wasn't enough evidence for me.
You're right.
I really now try to refrain. It's now harder and harder for me to conclusively not believe in something, because now I've been proven a fool too many times.
Ah.
And now, yes, there's all of this new evidence, which I haven't really been following that closely, honestly, but I do want to. But I have seen headlines in the paper, and I did see some snippets of
The recent whistleblower. There's whistleblowers for many, 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 many years.
Yeah.
No one's listened to them though, and they've been most afraid to come out because
Felt like it was a little bit the questioning. Again, I saw a snippet. I saw
yeah.
It felt a little condescending.
Oh yeah, we still have a lot of social stigma, which is why I have this on my show, because there's not only social stigma still around addiction. Those of us who have diseases, right? Addiction is a disease. Still blame the one with the disease. Like we also social stigma around anybody who says they have any kind of experience with anything that we can't make sense of. I understand that. It's in our schema. We can't put it in any like category that we understand or know. So we judge it. And by design, movies tell us to be scared of it or don't believe in it, right? Our parents said, be careful of the boogeyman, so be afraid of anything that's a no. And then, of course, you have now the government saying it's a national security. My whole philosophy is if they exist, okay, I call them neighbors upstairs, neighbors down below in the ocean. If they exist and they're here visiting us now again, and they have been for a while, I think they're coming down here saying, what's going on with the nukes? Can you stop it with the nukes, neighbors downstairs? Because we're messing up everything with that. Not only our universe, but theirs, right?
Come, 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 stay.
Right? That's what I said. I said, listen, they're like, if I have to believe in some other life form that's coming down here to check us on some of this stuff that is pretty scary if you think about it, I say, bring it on, little grays or reptilians or whatever they are, right? Whatever you want to call them, if they're real. I say, please come help us because I just don't like the idea of having nukes. I'm sorry. And I don't know of anybody that I know personally who likes the idea of it as well. So I know a big movement right now of people around the world that believe in this theory, that they're here to basically save us from ourselves. And I'm like, okay, I'm on board with that.
Positive way of thinking about it. And I hope that is correct.
Right. And it keeps you away from the fear and it keeps you away from the social stigma. Huh?
No fear at all.
So if one landed in your backyard and said, hey, Sal, let's go up to another universe.
It would freak me out, but what I wouldn't want to be abducted.
But what if you didn't remember? What if they gave you
I'm not a big traveler.
What?
I'm not big on traveling, so
not big on traveling. See, I've been saying for a long time, I need a vacation, but like a real one, like where I go leave the universe for like a couple hours.
like to be abducted.
Yeah, totally. I've been asking every night and it's just not happening yet. Oh, trust me.
I don't want, like any experimenting done on me or anything like that.
Yeah, I could do without this experimenting part. Yeah, I would say, can we make this just a pleasurable, if you want to massage me?
Let's have coffee.
Coffee, chocolate, and massage. I'm there. Sal, now that we've opened up this can of worms, I have no idea what you're going to say next. What animal would you like to be reincarnated as and why?
I've been thinking about that, and it's a hard one. That's a hard one for me because I don't really want to be reincarnated as an animal.
Oh, why not?
Animal. I don't want to be. I like being a human. I'll tell you why. Because I feel like there's so much animal abuse that goes on, and so I keep thinking of okay, what animal could I be where I would be
Safe from humans?
safe from humans? And there probably isn't really one. But then I came to. I think a dolphin.
Oh.
I think they're highly intelligent. And then maybe it's also because I really am a homebody and I'm not a great traveler. I'm okay traveler. I've
Yeah.
become a better traveler because I do it so much. But I really like kind of I like sort of nesting. And I think I would rather be more like you. I would rather have more of that adventurous spirit. And I feel like
Mm.
that sort of freedom and they're sweet and they're smart and they're playful and they appear to be kind. So those are all of the attributes that I would like to come back having.
Do you know that when Kenny, my best friend who's no longer with us, well, he's with me, but he's not in his earth body. We lost him in the 90s to AIDS. They found he and Bobby found out that when you swam with dolphins, it was healing. That they heal. So I can see you as a dolphin with your, I don't know if they call them a clan or what, being cute is just so, they're so cute. I can't, I just want to kiss their faces. And also you healing people that would be swimming next to you as a dolphin. I see that because you're very healing, you're very nurturing. If one of us in the family or friends or anybody has like a problem, you just jump right in and go, oh, we can fix this, we can fix this, we can fix this. This is the way your brain works. You're so nurturing. So I did not know that. I love that. Okay. Well, now you know I'm going to get you for Christmas is I'm going to get you a dolphin.
I had to really think about it. And it was, this is, okay, I know that you're not going to think I'm weird because
Because I'm already weird.
I keep getting this. Okay, don't think I'm weird, okay?
Okay.
I keep getting this voice or do you have a Buddha in your room?
Yeah, it's right here to the right of me. Yes, it's right here.
Okay, I keep getting this voice that you should look behind your Buddha. Okay.
Wait a minute. Did you hide? No, you hid something. What?
No,
What?
no, I just keep.
Sal, what did you do? Oh my God. What did you? I thought you were having a paranormal moment. God dang you. What is it? Okay, I'm opening this for those who can't see, but they're listening to Down with Dedee. How did you have, okay, she did something. Oh my God. Okay, my sister, Shell. Oh my God. Okay, now here comes the waterworks. Today on my 5th year anniversary of being sober, I'm looking at, which she hid in my room here, this beautiful leather bracelet that says believe in love, infinite forgiveness, invincible joy. Oh my God, Sal, this is beautiful. Look, it's beautiful. Thank you. Here.
And look at the back.
Oh, and the back says July 29th, 2018. And that was my sober day, my sober rebirth day. On the top, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's 5 years sober.
Oh,
And
I see. It's like a countdown. Oh, Sal, I love this. This is so beautiful. Thank you. This is why you were asking me now I got to take my Apple Watch off. Forget about my.
And this bracelet, this is from a designer, Aurora Lopez, and she custom makes things for people, and they think of words that are special to them and words that they want to be reminded daily. And
I love it.
and this particular piece of jewelry was inspired by Wonder Woman.
Oh, yes. Look at that.
Right.
That is totally Wonder Woman.
Wear it, and you are a superhero.
Thank you. Oh my God. This is so beautiful, especially the first line, believe in love. Because you know that I'm trying to spread love in a very noisy world right now. Trying to be part of the solution when most people are sitting in the problem. And for you coming on this show, you, my beautiful sister, are helping me be part of the solution. And now I have a Wonder Woman bracelet, so there's no stopping me. Okay. I love you, Sal. Thank you for coming on my show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, love you. Henry Rose, everybody. Get Henry Rose.
For more information on today's guest, check out the show notes below or visit our website at www.downwithdedee.com.